any little thing, I don't care. I don't care what it is, come talk to me, it's not gonna happen. We need to change the culture of them, that it's okay for them to disrespect you guys. It's not, right? I think we talked about it. Stop being in a hurry, guys, please, 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 stop being in a hurry. I mean, it's kind of weird, because what I hear on the radio of people like, hey, move up so I can move out, close your door so I can move out. Some of the people that are doing it are the first ones here in the afternoons. So you can't be in that big of a hurry if you're getting here at 4:40, right? Trying to get out of school. So don't be in such a hurry, man. Think of these kids. If you don't feel good in the afternoons after eating a good meal or something, or you feel sleepy, let us know. Let us know, and we'll get someone to drive for you. Had several calls on not just one driver, but several drivers that were weaving in and out. Then I look at video and I see this one up. And you got kids on your buses, right? No, 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 no. Don't do that, please. And then I think Tony and I have had tons of conversations about kids and their times. If they're not on time, if you guys are on time all the time, I know some of you drivers are, man, boom, 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 you got your times down. If there's kids that are consistently late, IEP kids, I get it, man. Hold on as long as you can, right? But regular kids are just missing because, I don't know, someone's tying their shoe for the 19th time in a row, 3 minutes after Tony arrives. We're just not gonna have it, okay? And I'm gonna talk to that parent today. So, just give some courtesy, but if you're there on time all the time, now if your times are 7, 8 minutes different all the time, which Tony's not, if you have something like that, then I understand why the parents are upset. But if you're consistent with your times, they have to get their kids up, all right? New employees, all over the place. This is the first meeting we have together with the parents and drivers all together. So look around, make sure you know our new employees. Please be courteous to our new drivers. Some of these, guys and girls, they're watching, they're learning. Okay, so be courteous, man. Give these guys a little bit of leeway there, please, guys and girls. When Chris talking about push your buttons, that should be a theme. Push your button, push your button. And then Keith pushed it. Where's the Keith? Is he here? Keith pushed it one time like 8 times in the span of 30 minutes, whatever it was. I mean, we have some that the drivers and parents on the big buses, if you're lucky enough to get a pair, they already have signals. And the drivers are like, oh, oh, oh. And that's okay, because then I can get to, man, I'll tell you what, if you push a button, it's so much faster to get to the video that you want. It is. It's not a problem if you don't, because it just takes a little bit longer to find, but I'll find it. Those cameras this year and last year compared to what we had 2 years ago, golly, these cameras these days are freaking amazing. All right. So another kind of good news thing is, guys, take care of your mechanics. All right. Christmas time rolls around, find out when their birthdays are, find out what beer they drink. I don't care. Take care of those guys. A lot of you guys don't know this. Friday night, had a bus trouble in Salina. Drivers took off at 5:30, right? They took off that way to fix that bus. These are things that these guys do. There's only 4 of them, right? So take care of them. If they tell you, you want to go get some fluid, and they say, nope, you can't, I guarantee they're just saying it because they're busy, not because they're just being mean. All right, so please, 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 please take care of them as best you guys can. All right, last thing I got for you guys is, if I say something to you guys, it's not personal. It's not. If I call you in and if I say, hey, close the door, you guys know what's coming. It's probably a write-up, right? It's not personal, guys. It's stuff that has to be done, okay? It's not like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get, Michelle today. Oh, I'm going to find some. No, it's not. So if you guys have a problem with me, man, tell me. Talk to me about it, okay? Because I promise you it's not personal. So, you go and talk to somebody else, and then guess what? I don't find out for 3 or 4 days if you got a problem with me. You've been stewing about this, and then guess what? When I find out, then I stew about it. Because you didn't come talk to me. Okay? So please, 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 if you got something, bring it to me and I'll help you as much as I can. All right? Thank you, guys.
taking care of your mechanics. Last week, there were a couple of times we had buses sitting out here running for no reason. One of them, and I'm not gonna pick on him because I've known him his whole life, but somebody went and shut off a bus after hours, and I think he was even off the clock. I headed out to go do it, and he beat me to it. But he's also gone, I'm sure these other mechanics have done it too, gone up and put up windows or closed roof hatches for you guys because it might rain. So please be remember that. I don't know why those two buses have been running those 2 times, but we're getting calls at 5:10, 5:15 from other drivers walking in. This bus is out here running. Driver's not even here. Why? Don't know. But when they're running out.
Last year, guys, during Christmas time, we had a bus run for 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
3 days.
That could have been dangerous and very, very expensive if something would have happened. Yeah.
I was watching video at 4 a.m. just to see if maybe a ghost, I don't know.
Well, he watched, he did it. That's a great segue, because now it's Mr. Ron.
I'm gonna bring up backing up again. How many mirrors have we had damaged already in just 3 or 4? 3 or 4? Guys, those big poles on either side of your bus aren't gonna move.
If they do, that's what we're doing.
Remember they're there, so watch your mirrors, they're backing. Flipping mirrors, they're, how much was that mirror too? 175 bucks for one cross. They're not cheap. Fault codes. In the early 90s, there were maybe under 100 fault codes at the most. I mean, there's probably 300 to 500 fault codes that can set on these mirror buses. So when you see a check engine light come on, don't freak out and call in. We'll obviously ask you if you have any problems running okay. Check your gauges. We're not all just automatically going to take you out of the bus. Now, if the check engine light's flashing, that's a different story. You need to shut it down. We're going to bring you a bus. That means if it's flashing, you can cause damage to something. But there's so many different fault codes that mean, like, some of them don't mean a whole lot, but we won't know until we hook up our diesel laptop and check them. All right, so our goal is to keep you in the bus if we can, if it's running okay and your gauges are okay. On gauges, on the fault codes, if your alarm's going off, if your alarm's going off, this button right here will shut it off. Okay. Right on your speedo, odometer, little rubber button. If it's everything seems okay, it's running good, the gauges look good. We might tell you to try restarting the bus, but if you hit that little button, it shuts the alarm off. Now, obviously, if there's something indicating there's something really wrong, we need to bring a different bus. But other than that, you can shut that alarm off and keep rolling.
If we shut it off, we should call it in though and
We
just make
still
sure.
you still need to call it in, do a write-up, because we do need to hook up to it to see why, what's going on with it. Like I said, we have no idea. There's so many different codes that, we just have to hook up to it and see what's going on. Okay? This is not a picture of me. It's how many hairs are on my head. What's the normal operating temperature of your engine? Internal combustion engine, any engine in our vehicles, normal operating temperature. There's going to be a test on this.
240.
180 to 210.
You're all right. They kind of vary, but 200 is around there, 200 give or take. Right straight up in the middle, 200 degrees. The thermostats on most engines open around between 180 and a little over 200, most of them that's on the, the ideal temp is around 200 degrees, give or take. All right? If you don't ever want to get past 3/4. All right? This range, on the big buses, your fan clutch should kick on somewhere in here and cool that engine down. All right? If you ever get past this 3/4, you need to be shutting that thing down. You can damage the engine. We had a van 2 weeks ago that obviously wasn't shut down. I mean, after we took them in another van, me and Rhett went back out there. I jumped in the van, turned the key on, and that gauge was pegged. Still, after been shut down for a while, it was pegged all the way to hot. Luckily, it seems okay. I mean, I'm surprised if there wasn't some engine damage. But don't ever run them when they're over 3/4. You need to shut those things down so you don't damage the engine. Okay. Oil, they've already talked about pre-trip. We had a question, we had one last week we were working on. I had Sean drain the oil out of it. It wasn't even on the dipstick, nothing registered. I said, I want you to drain that in a clear container, see how much oil you get out. Only 2 quarts, only got 2 quarts out of a 6-quart system. It was 4 quarts low on oil. Nobody was checking that. And it was a van. But still, any district vehicle, right? Whether it's a van, bus, minibus, moped, whatever. Right? If you're transporting students, you need to pre-trip and you check your fluids. All right? Luckily, both those vehicles seem okay. I guess there's some safety features on these newer vans that thing was running like crap. It sounded like it was, we thought the transmission was shot or something. It must be a fail-safe built into the computer, and it knew it was extremely low in oil, and it was going into D-rate. So it had like no power, wouldn't go, wouldn't shift. Well, it was the computer trying to protect the engine. We knew buses had that. When there's a problem in the after-treatment system, if you keep driving it that way, they'll go into D-rate or limp-in. They used to call it limp-in mode. So you go 5 miles an hour just to get to a shop or back to wherever you need to go. But these newer vans must have a fail-safe built into, to protect you. Still, that doesn't mean you still need to check all your fluids every day. And the only other thing I have, it's getting cooler in the mornings. If you're driving a diesel, be patient, wait to start, wait for those glow plugs. Well, on Duramax, glow plugs, bigger buses, the grid heaters to do their thing, cycle off before you start your bus.
What does that mean? I'm sorry, this is my first year.
What do you drive?
A big bus.
You drive a full-size bus?
Yes.
You'll have a wait to start light kick on.
Yes.
And turn the heat. Be patient, let that thing cycle off before you crank it.
Oh, I do that, so that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you said something about a heater, I thought, wait, what?
It's a grid, it's a preheater to warm the incoming air into the engine to help it fire up.
That's what's happening behind the scenes. Gotcha.
Does your bus do the clicking noises? Like when you first turn the key?
I'm looking at the lights.
I think that's everything I have. Any questions? Nope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So they've kind of already gone through some of it as far as like the pre-checks and stuff like that. If we find out that you are turning in paperwork but not actually doing them, you will be in trouble. We'll find out. The other thing that we have is you guys have been doing really good. We added the student count to you guys for the month. We did find out that there is a report that is due, so those of you that have shuttles, WSU shuttles, even the shuttles between May South and the Career Academy, we will need to start documenting your mileage and your kids, so we created one for you guys. Yes, it's pink because I like it. So for you guys, anyone who has a shuttle, which Jared, we call it a route, but you do the WSU all day, you're gonna do this too,
I've
okay?
been doing the all.
So, and that's fine, but,
I'll do that.
so you're going to put your vehicle number that you're doing, the month, and the shuttle run. When I say the shuttle route, I wanna know if it's VOTEC, I wanna know if it's the May South Career Academy and the time, like which shuttles you're doing. Because we have so many of them, don't just put a shuttle, because we're not gonna know. This way we can keep them organized for the reports. If you're doing May South to Career Academy shuttles, like Deb, Richard, Michelle, sometimes Austin, it just depends. All I would like you guys to do is when you do your pick counts, because you usually have 2 shuttles, do the number and then like the slash and then the number, and I'll know that one's for one, one's for the second run, okay? So yes, you will need to keep track of it on both runs. Let's know.
Never mind, I'll figure it out.
Anyway, as for trips, we have some really, really big trip days coming up. And I may be asking some of you guys to even just go out and pick up teams at the end of the day. If I can get them out there with one driver and get another driver to go get them, it's gonna be a little crazy. I know Tony's doing a double shift for me, dropping the students off. So we're trying our best to make sure that we are getting students where they need to be as much as possible. So if you guys get sick and you call out, please let us know if you have a trip. I try to put them all on the calendars, but like when you call out, don't just say, hey, I'm calling out today, da da da. Remind somebody that, hey, I also had that trip, or if you know the night before, send me a text message so that I can start working on getting that covered, because it is really hard to do that, okay? I think that's all I got.
Yeah, on that St. Catherine's, you want it in pink or yellow? Pink, okay.
And these are gonna be in the, break room, under the cabinets. So the yellow will be your Route 12, and then the pink will be your St. Catherine.
Be easy and short. Everybody sign this?
Yes.
I know you were here, I'm gonna come hunt you down and you're gonna sign it. So you should sign it, okay? Even the office people, they have not signed it yet. Alright? But they've been busy. So and if you don't get to watch it here, be sure to watch it and come to sign it at my office. And the only other thing I'm gonna talk about is first aid and the defensive driving. They have to be done within 30 days of expiration. So it's really important you go to this one coming up, because we have a lot that have been since September and we're letting it go. We've got to keep ahead, since August. So we need to make sure that everybody goes to this next one. That's it. Thank you, guys.
All right, now on to my stuff. Everyone, you guys might have noticed the logging in and out looks a little different. Everybody's at one pay code, except for, and we're getting ready to do that, it's gonna go to everybody has one pay code. That's actually gonna get tracked by me and payroll, where it splits out, because that's just how you get paid. You get paid the same regardless. It's more for which
pot it comes out of. So it's more for us. So make things easier on everybody. Everybody has one pay code, so you won't see that thing. It's just clock in, clock out. Don't submit your weekly timesheet. If you turned in a blue sheet to me and you don't see those hours on there, or you know there's an error, don't submit them, because then you're going to get a denial email. 99% of the time when you get a denial email, it's because I'm correcting a pay code, correcting time, or payroll's doing the same thing. So if you've already submitted it, we have to deny it so we can go back and fix it. It doesn't send you an email telling you it got resubmitted, it just tells you it got denied. But anytime we work on them, we always resubmit it right afterwards. Don't use the lunch button. In and out. That's it. The lunch button throws everything off. In, and then it says out for the day, disregard what it said, it's out. So in the morning you clock in, after your tier 1 or tier 2's done, you click out for the day, come back in the afternoon, in, out for the day again. In and out, that's it. Don't touch the lunch button. Sub-drivers. The only thing that's going to change for you guys is on the yellow sheet when you do your bus number, whatever you're doing, just write an S on there, because I've got to change the pay code to you driving or being a para. So if you're a para or a driver, it doesn't matter, just put S at that portion of your, whatever you're subbing for. That way I know to put you as sped, so that way we can keep our hours up. Huh?
Put an S where?
Somewhere in that box. So if you're during your AM tier 1, if it's a sped, just put a little S. If you're tier 2, on your time card.
On the yellow card?
Yes, your
Oh,
key account sheet, just write S. If tier 1 and tier 2, put 2 S's. Just
Okay.
whatever part of that tier.
the S is for sub,
No, it's for sped.
Sped?
So I know that because the only people that do that is our sped when you do activities. The CDL floater is what payroll calls them. Awesome.
In a case like Vern and me this morning, Vern was driving on.
Both put S.
Or what am I gonna put S on? Do I gotta do a kick can card too?
I don't know, we'll have to talk about that. This is just for the CDL floater, so we'll have to figure that one out. Because I need to, because yes, I have to code you as para, so maybe just for that one, you come and tell me. Yes. Time out procedures, we already went. Kathy gets the slip. I just approve when you put in on Skyward. Okay. Clocking in and out. And it's even easier now. We only have to do a couple buttons. This is since the beginning of the school year. We're a little over a month into it. No, we're not even a month. That's people missing. Now there's a few mixed in here for like extra hours for maps or whatever. But 90% of this stack is me having to go in there and clock you in or out. Come on, guys. That's just remember to clock in and out. It's not hard for me, but you can see how not hard adds up real quick to losing time to do other things. Yeah, which that one you guys keep thinking about. The Skyward thing, especially like a bunch of people clock in on the tablet, the same ones, it doesn't catch it, or it'll say you're not. It'll like say you're clocked out, but you're in. Okay, I get those. It's just if you completely forget it, just remember to clock in and out. All clear signs. So on the buses, make sure everybody knows. At the end of the route, at the end of your AM and the end of your PM, the yellow sign goes up in the back window with the all clear pointing out the back. Don't leave it there. If you're starting your route on tier 1 in the morning, go pull the sign off. This is a checks and balance thing. So remember to go walk your bus. So at the end of morning route, you go put the sign back, and as you're walking back, you're checking the bus. Make sure it's all clear. That's everybody that has a yellow bus. Bus lot speed 15, okay? That goes for you mechanics. I'm not going to say who I see do it quite often, but it might be those guys. Hey, when we're racing, that doesn't count. That's different. All right, activity group. Vern did voiceover for us, and he's got it. We're going to probably try to get some like it. he did a voiceover of the activity trips, so you don't have to say it. After this meeting, I'm going to send it out to everyone that does trips in a WAV file, so you can bring it up on your phone, hit play, and hold your little PA up to it, and Vern will tell everybody. So, because I know as somebody that did activity trips, and I still have to do on occasion, they don't pay attention. We know. It's just like when you're on an airplane. They got to go through the policy. Okay, so you can hit play. We've got little speakers that we're gonna get. Then you put this little SD card in, and you hit 2 buttons, and it'll play. Just hold the PA up there and let them do their thing. You could be doing a checklist.
I actually used that on the last trip and it worked perfect.
Mike?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're trying to experiment because the newer buses, the PAs have a USB port and there's an SD card. I tried it with the one, we have different readers, it didn't work. But I'm gonna try a few things, but I'll send you in an email the WAV file. You should be able to play that off your phone. Tablets. Yeah, they're still having issues. It's not just our tablets, our routing software. It's doing weird things. It's not terrible, but it's stuff that just is not working right. But we're going to keep doing it because it'll get fixed, and this is what the school board wants. They're the ones who want it. So to help with some of the problem, we got everybody, one of these I'm going to assign to the tablet, which means you, and it is a hand scanner. Notice it's cordless. One thing I've got to do is on all the tablets, I got to dremel them and grind out just a little bit. These don't fit. This is the piece. There's a little adapter that actually plugs into the tablet. This little adapter is just a hair too big, so we just got to grind off. You take this thing that comes with the sand scanner, you put it in this little adapter, and then this portion goes into the tablet where you plug it in for charge, same USB-C. Like I said, I got to grind them off, so over the next couple of days, every tablet will get a hand scanner with the little, it's called a dongle, which is inside of it. It's wireless, so it uses the same USB thing as your charger. So you'll get an extra. Hold on. This thing's got a plug, so you can charge it on wall ports. Then this one has got USB on one side and 2 USB-C. So in between routes, if you want to plug in your tablet this way on your bus, or you can plug this in to charge, and like you get done with your kids, but you're still running like in between routes and you got time to let them charge. So that way you can plug 2 things, the tablet and the scanner into charge. These things will last a lot longer than the tablets. They'll go 3 or 4 days before charge, but just another option. All right. Yes?
What if you already have an adapter of your own?
That's yours, not mine. If you've got stuff outside, that's on you. Oh, so how many of you guys were really excited on Friday? Because you noticed a little paycheck was a little. So that came from the school district. That was the retention bonus. So if you were employed and here the last 2 days of school last year, you already got a $750 bonus. Now you notice you didn't get $750 because they tax bonuses at a higher rate. But hey, it's still free money, right? So that's where that came from if you're looking at it. You can look at your Skyward Finance and look at your payroll stuff, that check, and it'll show your normal disbursement, and then it'll show an additional disbursement. That is the, it came from the SPED, ended up with 1.2 million more money, so they gave everybody in the district a retention bonus. So that's where that came from. Extra hours. Okay, so we're kind of limited on, Darren doesn't want us to have overtime as much as humanly possible. So people that were doing mock crew stuff were averaging about 42 to 45. We can't do that anymore. So I need more people to help pick up hours here and there. So if you're one of those that goes and sits and somewhere, I don't care where, or whatever you do to get extra 15, 20 minutes a day, that irks me, okay? I have stuff you can do. None of it is extremely extraneous. I got a lot of office stuff that I can help with. I could use help. Plus, our sub buses need to be driven out to Mount Hope in a rotation. So if you do that one time a week, just one of them, takes an hour and 5 minutes roughly. That'll give you an extra hour. If you want more time, we can go up to 40, no problems. Paras, minibus drivers, is there any minibuses left for subs right now? If there was, we would run those. But there's stuff that we could use help with. You see all this junk in here? We only have so much time, there's only so many of us in the office doing stuff. So if you need hours instead of milking the clock, I'll call it what it is. Come see me, I got stuff you can do that'll actually be helpful. And then you don't have to worry about me catching you on that clock, not doing anything. All I want you guys to do is be gainfully employed while you're on the clock. That's it. I get 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I like to talk too, but I'm here 8 straight hours, at least. I haven't worked 8 straight hours, but the point is, I got stuff that I can help with.
Hey Chris, on that note, I need a sub-para for noon today.
Anybody want to be a sub-para? After the meeting, see Ms. Joy. There's constantly stuff like midday, the paras and drivers for pre-K stuff every once in a while. Get with Joy, throw your name in that hat. Like I said, if you got stuff, you want more hours, we can go up to 40, let me know, I got stuff I can use. Here's one, I just now got to working on some new maps since last school year. Even over the summer, I didn't have time to do this. But there are 2, with a third one getting ready to come out. Brand new maps. This one's the Huntley, and it has the Avant, the big old apartment complex over on 37th and Ridge, with Pier 37 on the bottom of it, with the bottom part of that, so you can see, because there's a south entrance to that place. The Coves, the new one over on 53rd and Tyler. I got that portion, that new map done. I know I did another one, I'm gonna roll over. But these are things you guys can help with. All right, down to my gripe. Leaving the bus lot in the afternoon. The times are on the back end, and the maps that are out right now, I will update with the new times. But on the back end, you're in middle school, base middle school, which is your leaving here point, the leaving in the afternoon. By the way, that's what I mean. When you leave in the afternoon, what time are you starting your route? Well, or going to the school. Actually, all everybody goes to school. Those are on the back end. Mays Middle, if you go to that school. If you don't, it's on Mays South, intermediate. If you're one of the sped buses where you don't go to a school, you're not on that map. But I still have to put you in lineup somewhere. So the sped lineups, other than the very first one, is fluid. People, I get that, but I still have to have a place to put you. I don't know how to put that on a map where it changes every day. I don't. I just the same order and try to do the best you can. Those times are set for a reason. So if you guys are like leaving early, and I got that piece of paper and everybody write it down. Why are you leaving early? Because I got to get out of here before all the buses. Well, out of 50-something routes, 50 people